Hello, this is Stephanie, your quilting bestie, and today we're going to work on the Drunkard's Path block. So today, as we're talking about the Drunkard's Path block, you'll notice it's got two pieces. It's got the concave side, some people call it the pie side, and then we've got this other side here, some people call it the crust side. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but it's two curved pieces and they'll come together to make one block. All kinds of ways to do that. We've got templates out there. We've got, excuse me, not templates, those are dies. We've got dies out there. We've got assorted rulers out there. Today, we're going to use templates, okay? We're going to use templates. So, the templates that we're using, we're going to cut this piece and this piece. Let's get these two pieces on here. I want the smaller piece, I want the little pie section to be made out of this fabric, and I want the little outside crusty section to be made out of this fabric. So this template comes with two pieces, one to cut the outside edge, outside section, and one to cut the inside section. Okay, and as you normally would, you would lay your template on your fabric, line up the edges in the corners here, in this case, and you would take your rotary cutter and just cut and cut. When we do, you'll have that piece and you'll have that piece. Okay? So now the question is, how do we join these two pieces together? I'll show you that in the next section. All right, so we have our two pieces. We have our little infill section. We have our outer edge. This is going to be the concave side. That's the convex side. And the idea is to make these two pieces of fabric fit together. And of course, it looks like it's not going to, but you know, it's a curved seam and you know, we cut it right, so it will fit. The way to make it fit is to start by getting your match points. So I take that first piece of fabric, I fold it in half, and I find its midpoint, okay? Then I fold the outer ends, one there, and mark its point. Same on this side, okay? Notice I bring the edge of the fabric to the midpoint there, and mark that, okay? I'll do the same thing on the concave piece. Again, fold it in half, and then fold the outside edges to the center so I can find that quarter spot. There's one, and there's two. There's two. There is two. There we go. So now I have my two pieces pinned up, kind of roughly pinned, marking their center and their 1/4 spot. Center, 1/4 spot. And then I'll fold, or I'll place one on top of the other. I'll match my pins, and I'll start pinning it around. Okay, we'll do that in the next section as we get ready to sew. Okay, so we've come to the machine, and we're getting ready to pin our two pieces together. Like I said, we're going to match our center points that we marked before. Okay. We're going to match our quarter points. Come on out, come on out, there you go. And this quarter point, we're going to match that. Okay, and then we're going to match our ends. We want our short end of the filler piece to align with the long end of the outside piece, and we want that to be nice and square because that's where our blocks are going to join with other blocks. That's going to complete the square look of this appearance, the square look of the appearance of this block when we get to the edges. So you want that to line up nicely. Okay, and you do the same thing on this other end. And we line it up nicely. Come on, you can do it. All right, so this is the rough. Next thing we're going to do is start easing in these spaces, because again, we're trying to get a nice even pinning. So we're going to kind of stretch that a little bit ease it, fill it, pinch it, and pin it. Mind you, it's not a deep pin. It's not any deeper than the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So, oh, sorry about that. 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, because you don't want to have the block distort on you as you're trying to sew it. Okay, and you're going to do it for these two spaces as well. And what you're going to wind up with is something like this. So you see, we've got the pins on the ends, and then we've got the pins at our 1/4 spot and half spot, and then we've got the little pins as we eased our way around. All right, so now I'm ready to sew. I have my stitching foot on. I'm ready to do a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. I've got my stitch length set a little bit shorter than usual for piecing. So I'd say I'm on an older machine, so I'm by the inch. So I've got 15 stitches to the inch is what I'm going to piece at. Probably on the newer machines, maybe a 2. Okay, so that's my stitch length, right? I'm going to, have my needle down so I have a starting spot, and I'm going to align the edge of my fabric with my presser foot, which also aligns with my feed dogs, these little teeth here. And I'm going to get myself set underneath the needle, okay? So, foot down, okay? Ease up my pin just a little bit, hold my threads, and advance a little bit, okay? Now that I've got my needle secured in the fabric, I can very slowly start moving my way around the block. Okay? I don't have to go any faster than I'm comfortable. And if you're just starting out, you're probably going to go very slowly, and that's fine. Okay. As I remove my pins, I want to just keep my concave and convex edges. I want to keep those aligned, and I want to move the bulk towards the back of the block as I'm easing my way around. Okay, I don't have needle up, needle down, so I do it old school. Okay, again, I continue to move the fullness towards the back, out of the way, and scooch that edge up a little bit, keeping an eye on the edge of my fabric, on the edge of my sewing foot. Just kind of easing my way around. Okay, coming to the end, I'm gonna get ready to take that pin out, but I'm not there yet. So I've got that extra little bit of fullness, and I'm gonna ease it in. Okay, and I'm coming to my edge, pull my pin, and stitch off. Okay, cut and trim my extra string here, and that's my block. Let's go press it. Okay. All right. So we've got our blocks. There's 1, 2, 3. What's great about the Drunkard's Path block, the 1/4 block here, is that with the curve, you can press those seams however you like. You can press it with the outer edge coming towards the middle, the inner edge going towards the outside, or if you prefer, you can even press it open. Come out equally flat, and it's just a matter of what you need. And that's the great thing about curve piecing. It's very forgiving in terms of the pressing, and it's also, very versatile in terms of how you do it. Say, for example, you needed these 2 blocks to come together, okay? One's pressed in, the other one's pressed out, and if you were to sew them together, you've got very easily nested blocks, okay? So if you were to make that seam, there's your nested area right there. You don't have any bulk to worry about, and it's easy peasy. So some final thoughts on the Drunkard's Path block. The biggest thing that I can think of is start with a larger radius. A 6-inch radius or a 5-inch radius is much easier to sew than a 3-inch radius. It can be done, but oh boy, is that a toughie. The next thing that I would do, I would say, is just take your time. That's the Drunkard's Path block takes a little bit of practice to get the hang of. As you become more proficient, you'll be able to go faster, and you'll feel more comfortable doing it. So again, be kind to yourself as you're learning, and be patient with yourself, and you'll get it. And then the last thing I would say with regards to the Drunkard's Path block, it's a great block to learn, because it's the beginning of so many other kinds of blocks. Not only is it used commonly in the Drunkard's Path, but it's also a staple of the New York Beauty block. And I know you've seen them, so it's a great thing to have in your toolbox, and it enables you to make curves or turn curves in a block or in a scene or whatever. It's very versatile in that way. So I'd say give it a try, and until next time, this is Stephanie, your quilting bestie, saying thank you.